Con, the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 8 and verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace and blessings and much salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect who continuously push this gospel to wherever the Lord has scattered them in these latter times. To you, Akim, I say Shalom, Shalom. The threat level of T attacks in America. High level threat of terror attacks in America. Fair use, fair use. Before I even start the video, fair use, fair use. I'm only linking what's going on in the news as I'm going to read to Bible prophecy. All right? Sleeper cells are in the news as Iran, the United States, the Israelis, these Arab nations are fighting because it's a wider war that's going on, a regional war that's going on, all right, in the so-called Middle East, all right? The threat level of terror attacks over here in Babylon the Great is very, very high right now, particularly for the death of Ayatollah Khamenei. The current death of the Ayatollah Khamenei has a threat level of terror attacks, sleeper cells being activated at a high level right now. And I encourage you brothers and you few sisters who are watching the video to go subscribe to to our page, GMS Louisiana, GMS New Orleans, GMS Baton Rouge, the elders pages, Elder Pastor Hall, GMS Declaring the End, what is the 6-6 Mark II, GMS Info Doc, Daily Edification, Exhortation, and go subscribe to the Sean Ryan Show, where you can find more information like what I'm about to bring out pertaining to these sleeper attacks, man. All right? The book of Revelations, chapter 18. All right? In verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. And that's ultimately only going into the Lord coming upon his chariots, all right, to deliver the hopeful elect out of trouble, out of Jacob's trouble, the great tribulation, to escape the incoming famine, to be kept alive in famine, to avoid the pestilence. Though it's all around the men of the Lord, it's not going to come nigh thy dwelling. The incoming civil war, the bloodshed is about to be happening on these streets. You escaping that. Terror attacks, the sleeper cells being activated. That's why you got to pray without ceasing, because these things are coming to these cities, man. And it's a list of cities that have been going out within the last couple of days. You can go pull it up and look for yourself where these sleeper cells are at. They're in Texas. I seen Mississippi. I seen Alabama. It's going to be, they're all over America. You know, a lot of these Edomites, they go and target different cities. Like, you know, the guy Steve Ram, he goes and puts out nuclear attacks on 15 cities. No, it won't be just nuclear attack on 15 cities. All of America will be wasted. But it's going to start through terror attacks. They are coming. It's part of Bible prophecy. It says, I'm going to prove it. It says, verse off Verse 5. For her sins have reached, speaking of America, that her is America. For her sins have reached unto heaven. All the abominations, setting ISS space stations all over the whole earth. You reached the climax. Now it's time for you, Babylon the Great, to get judged, man. You've been causing havoc and death, famine, a lot of raping and stuff, graping all over the world. But now it's coming here. It's finna come here. I'm finna get the article too. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, have remembered her iniquities. The Lord got all the murders, the crime, the stealing, the lying, the whoremonger, the adulterousness that's been going on over here in America, that has spread it all across the world. The Lord has all that documented. The angels have recorded it and have brought it before Yahweh Yahushua. And the Lord has an appointed time where he's going to heavily judge Babylon the Great. Matter of fact, let me get that, man. Luke chapter 12 and verse 49, the Lord said, I am come to send fire on the earth. What's going on right now? Wars breaking out. Civil unrest is breaking out. Like I said, it's going to be a wider regional war. And the Pentagon has already said, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, that there is a high level chance of war taking place on American soil. And it will happen. You heard it right here first, beginning with the elders and apostles of GMS only, because like Elder Apostle Ariam just did a video on it, Great Millstone is a prophetic camp, period. I like you people saying the word, that part. Yeah, that part. Great Millstone is a prophetic camp. All right? It's all, what else is it to talk about? But prophecy. The destruction of the so-called white man going down. And it starts with these terror attacks. Luke 12 and 49. I am come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? The Lord is going to add more fire to this place. The book of Revelation chapter 18. I'm going to prove that. Revelation chapter 18. I think it's down further. And verse 21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea. It's nuclear. This water is about to be fought. It's coming. It's going to be nuclear. It's going to start with these sleeper cells being activated. Terror upon Babylon the Great. And like we've been saying, they're going to look for someone to blame. Somehow, some way, they're going to tie the Hebrew Israelites into these tea attacks. Remember, Yahushua said, ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. What the hell can happen for us to be hated of all men? Think about it. Millions have to die. To the billions. Maybe even the president himself. And they link us to it. Fair use, fair use. I'm only saying what's being heard in the news because Donald Trump has likened the men of the Lord, all right, to being called the prophets of doom. You know, saying he's going to bring back the guillotine, mass firing squads, public executions. Who the hell is he talking about? The prophets, beginning with Great Millstone. We're the only ones that's going in week in and week out, speaking prophecy. Doom and gloom and salvation. Revelation 18 and verse 21, I'm finna get into the article, a fire article at that. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down and shall be found no more at all. Remember, because you read about it in Isaiah 34, Isaiah 13, only wild beasts of the desert, doleful creatures, are going to inhabit this land as it's being destroyed with violence. All right? Yes, the violence is coming from terror attacks, sleeper cells being activated, civil war on these streets, nuclear fire, and then the Lord coming with the chariots. This is an article that I have. All right? The elder Yakanan put it in our chat a little while ago. All right? This is from the lawenforcementtoday.com. Lawenforcementtoday.com. All right? Check it out for yourself. It says America faces 18,000 combat trained killers on our soil. 18,000. Like I said, go watch the Sean Ryan show and go to the videos or the live. All right. You know those different categories on that page. And you scroll down, you're going to see the woman, Sarah Adams. All right. Ex-CIA agent. All right. Going in on it. All right. She's spilling the beans. This is what you call a real whistleblower. They're activated all over America. I'm not even going into detail of what she even specifically said. Just go watch it for yourself for the sake of the time of the video. All right? Isaiah chapter 47. Gotta get this. All right? Isaiah 47. That's why I read in the opening precept, man. Many great miseries are coming to you people. 18,000? That's a small platoon, a small army. Been waiting in the wings for the right time. Oh, let me get that, man. Let me come back to this. So I brought this out on the block at Camp Saturday. All right. Sleeper cell definition. It says a secretive group or spies or terrorist agents that remain inactive within a targeted population until ordered to act. Watch the movie The Siege with Denzel Washington, Bruce Willis. Perfect example of how it goes down, or of the definition I just read. Put it like this. One of my favorite movies is all right. It's called, and as I'm doing the video, it's just breaking news with Iran. You know, they talk about Iran and Saudi Arabia going to war. All right. The nuclear talks that may be scheduled, and Iran has said, no, that's dead game. We're not even doing that. All right. North Korea making threats, et cetera, et cetera. One of my favorite movies is called Die Hard with a Vengeance with Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis, yet once again. Because Bruce Willis also played in the movie The Siege with Denzel Washington that goes into the sleeper cells that have been activated in the event of a T attack. Okay, fire ass movie, man. All right. In that movie, people were going to get there in New York on 145th in Harlem. Uptown, whatever you want to call it. People were going to get their coffee, grits and egg, waffles, 7, 8 o'clock, the normal day. People just living out their lives, going to ass to work. And bam, out of nowhere, bomb goes off. Watch the movie. At the very beginning of the movie, Die Hard with a Vengeance with Samuel L. Jackson. The guy, or the Russian name guy is Jeremy Irons. I remember, like I said, it's one of my favorite movies, so I remember distinctively. Jeremy Irons is in the movie. Samuel L. Jackson. Bruce Willis. Go check it out. Just like that. Hell, on 9/11, what happened? I was in college going to Southern University down here in Baton Rouge. And all across the news, you know, you're watching Sports Center and the Sports Center just completely goes off. And then you see the smoke from those towers just, you know, coming out, man. A blaze of ball of fire. All orchestrated by Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, through the wicked elite. Job 9:24. Sleeper cell is a secretive group of spies or terrorist agents that remain inactive within a targeted population until ordered to act. They on standby. They've been on standby. So in the article it says, what threat, you ask? Well, how about this? 18,000 fighters. I will repeat that number. 18,000 known or suspected terrorists are here now in America. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Now it's saying the same thing here. It's saying the same thing in Revelations in the 18th chapter. Because now it is time for America to be judged. I even seen something today where Lindsey Graham said that they've invaded Iran. Cuba, you're next. They say Cuba is in the crosshairs. So we'll see, what's going to happen with that. But America got to deal with this right here with Iran, because Iran is on the offensive. Iran is on the offensive right now, hammering the troops over there and the American troops over there in the land, the Israeli troops, saying President Benjamin Netanyahu's cabinet has been destroyed, where he does work at, with his pen and paper, going over papers, reviews and everything through the manila folders, etc., etc. That has been destroyed. Iran is attacking all regions where America is military bases are stationed at, man. This is war, and it's showing no signs of slowing down, man. And it's soon finna be over here. What you see on these news channels, whether it be Al Jazeera, Russia TV, CNN and MSNBC, that's westernized media, so they're not going to show you what actually is going on. You got to go to alternative websites, platforms that show you the authentic of what's really going on. Iran is hammering shit. With buildings being blown up, being set on fire, that's coming here to America. America will be a third world country overnight in 24 hours. Literally. You heard it. If you haven't heard it, you're hearing it here first. The Bible says, come down and sit in the dust. The dust represents the confusion that's been going on over here in America, that's spread all over the earth. All right? More breaking news. They're talking about the coming midterms election, like Trump may try to, do something to suspend, all right, or offset the midterm elections. This place is just all jacked up, man. Everything is spiraling out of control, just as the hopefully elect needed to be. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. It's going to start through these splinter cells being activated. America's been on a high for so long, to when you come down, you have no throne. Now you're being brought down low. How could a nation that's been so great be thrown down in 1 hour, as it says in the 18th chapter of Revelation? In 1 day, in 1 hour, everything changes. Death, mourning, and famine. All right? Let me read that article, man. It says 18,000 known or suspected terrorists are here now in America. That's the current estimate from Director Joe Kent of the National Counterterrorism Center, who just testified to that effect recently before Congress. What the hell that other FBI director was? I think it was Christopher Wray, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look it up. He just stepped down last year. Why? We watched the movie Police State. It's not on any, Fire Stick or, Cinemax or nothing like that. You got to actually have went to the actual movie theaters to go see it. It's called The Police State. Matter of fact, you can go to Amazon.com and type it in, and you can actually, people don't watch DVDs, but that's the only way you can acquire it. All right, the movie The Police State. Okay? Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can put it up real quick. Bear with me. All right, so you don't think I'm making this up. There you go, right there. All right. All right, spread it open a little bit. All right, that's it right there. Go check it out. Go look it up. It's on Amazon. All right, I looked it up because I couldn't find it nowhere on the tube, on Tubi. All right. None of those on Pluto. I couldn't find it nowhere, but I went on Amazon and it's there on DVD. Okay. The police stated on there they were actually going into how this could be America, you know, can be a third world country just overnight. It's not gonna take much. All right. The Insurrection Act is on deck. It's on Trump's desk. The Insurrection Act. Okay. And this will give Donald J. Trump the season of all power, a totalitarian state. I'm gonna do more videos on this. See, this is gonna usher in concentration camps, martial law. All right, checkpoints, the mark of the beast. It's coming, man. All right. All we need is one event, and this right here. These sleeper cells being activated with T attacks can very well throw prophecy in overdrive, man. All right. It says and Christopher Wray was on the movie The Police State, a documentary, whatever you want to call it. As a matter of fact, only a few of us, because we weren't scheduled to go watch that movie, because you had to have a ticket, and they had ran out of tickets, and they had your name on the list. And we had it to the dudes in there was like, man, y'all don't have no ticket. Fuck it, just go on there. Y'all can go watch it. It was like 7, 8 of us. You know, y'all just go ahead and there watch it, man. We ain't worrying about it. So the Lord, Yahweh Shah wanted us to watch that movie, that documentary. We went in the theater. All them Edomites were looking like, look at all these, you know, they call us the N-word. Look at all these niggas, man. How did they know about this? That's real talk, man. All right. It says most of these combat experienced fighters are from the Middle East, Africa, Indonesia, war-torn countries such as Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Mali, which is over there in West Africa, if you don't know. It's not saying it here, but I'm telling you that's where it's at. And Somalia, Khan. We are looking at not just shooters, but suicide bombers, because they fight to the death and never surrender. Many are Al-Qaeda trained terrorists from Afghan training camps. Ooh, Intel expert Sarah Adams has corrected her numbers assessment on the SRS podcast called The Sean Ryan Show the other day, that is now modified to over 8,000 AQ trained. 8,000. You know, and America funds these organizations, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, the rebels. America funds them, man. They give them the money for this shit, man. All this shit is tied in, man. All right? All of them in bed together. It's like when you watch that movie Fahrenheit 9/11. It showed you how George Bush was in with the Saudis. How he flew the Bin Laden family out of the country in the event of war with Afghanistan, man. They need this to happen. The elite want this to happen over here in America to forward their NWO agenda. All right? I'm saying it, man. All right? The book of Isaiah, Luke. Let me see. Let me see real quick. I think it's in Luke. Let me get Luke. I think it's Luke 19. Yeah, Luke 19 and verse, straight to the point, Luke 19 and verse 43. It says, and this happened in 70 AD. It's going to happen again. For the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee. And in the event of a sleeper cell attack, the UN troops, National Guard, which are already over here, ICE, all right, other militia groups, Navy SEAL are going to surround this place on all sides to keep you in, all right? Keep you in, as they did in 70 AD. It wasn't no going in and wasn't no coming out. The Roman army, beginning with Titus Vespasian and Tiberius, built the gate high as hell, man. I think it was like 8 foot tall, all right? Where Jake could not get out, and they did it in a matter of hours. But now you don't have that. You have these city streets where troops can get on to block you from coming in or coming out. It's like Jake lives across the tracks, the railroad tracks in the projects in the hoods. Cut the whole track, cut that track all the way off. Jake is done. That is going to issue in famine. And the troops can have their way with you, as they did in the siege of Jerusalem. All right? It says, for the day shall come upon thee that thine enemy shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side. No way in, no way out. What does it say in the Apocrypha? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. This sleeper cell attacks. It's not a matter of if, but when. Not a matter of if, but when. Luke 19:45. It's like 44. And shall lay thee even with the ground. They're going to kill you. That's what the prophet Luke saw. Laying you with the ground, making you one with the ground. You're dead. You're in the dirt. All right? And thy children within thee. Ooh. It's happened in 70 AD. That's why the Bible says what it says in Mark and Matthew, also in Luke 2. That woe to you that give child and suck in those days. That's the time period here. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knowest not the time of thy visitation. Here it is. This is spreading all over across the globe, all right, with these sleeper cells being activated. But the bulk of the Israelites, from Judah all the way down to Issachar, they're not paying attention. The so-called Negro, all the way down to the so-called Mexicans, are not paying attention. You know not the time of thy visitation. And may Yahweh Bashim Yahushua utterly destroy you. And he will. Giving all infinite honor and glory and praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Harakapadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace and blessings to the Lord's hopeful elect who continue to push this gospel to wherever ye have been driven in these latter days. To you, Akim, I say Shalom, Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, Akim.